9 beginner fragrance must-haves. What is a beginner? Well, first off, I get this a lot. People either, maybe they watch my videos, but they find it relaxing, but they don't necessarily want to collect, and that's perfectly okay, obviously. But then there's a lot of people that want to get into sort of fragrance collecting, fragrance wearing, but they either don't know how or they think it's too expensive. So we're doing a must-have when you start collecting fragrances. These are the tops. What am I looking for a top fragrance? First off, it's got to be affordable. Nobody starting a fragrance collection has a boatload of money. Second, it's got to be a signature scent. It can't be just like everybody else or like everyone else is wearing. And then third, it's got to be evening out. You have to have a different variety of fragrances. Day wear, evening wear, blues. Let's just get into it. 9 fragrances. I'm gonna say the first one that I'm gonna do is, you know what? I know exactly the first one I'm gonna do. It is Haramain's Detour Noir. I've talked about this a couple times. If you do not have this in your collection, you are banished from the channel. You can't get. No, I'm just kidding. This is a clone, somewhat of a loose clone of Parfum de Marly's Layton, and you'll see a lot of clones. Why do you see clones? Because they're cheaper alternatives to fragrances that work, have a track record of working, being amazing. Haramain's Detour Noir. This fragrance has an incredible, oh my gosh, opening note. Super fruity. And it's kind of like what I'll call an everyday fragrance, a signature scent, a gym fragrance, a super fresh, but not soapy, not like the Axe body spray or anything. A signature scent that people are going to be asking what you're wearing. If you have a little bit more money, go get the Amber Oud Blue Exclusive, but it's 3 times as much. And I find myself grabbing this just as often. So, Haramain's Detour Noir. Go get this now. And this is $26. So, it's a no-brainer. It really is. Next, let's keep it going with the fresh stuff. This is not a clone. This is Guess. Guess Green. Guess Gold is really good as well, but this is Guess Green. Guess, just like the famous designer. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So, Guess has this kind of wormwood opener, and it's so good. You can pick it up at Ross right now. They have Ross in them. They have these sets where you can get the shower gel with it as well, like 1.7. But this is your spring fragrance. This is unique. This is using a same formula as a lot of the other fragrances, but with different ingredients. Like this has wormwood for an opener, whereas a lot of fragrances will have cedar. So it does it well. It does it very well. Green. Guess Green. Okay. Let's switch it up a little bit. I'll give you another clone. This is Tobacco Touch by Maison Alhambra. Tobacco Vanille is one of the most divisive fragrances out there. You'll have some people that say they love it, wear it every day. Daniel Craig bathes in it, and what it is spices, vanilla, and tobacco. Tobacco as a whole is a very divisive scent. Why is that important? Well, why are you wearing fragrances? Are you wearing it because you like it? Are you trying to attract somebody? Are you trying to put together an image of yourself that says you take care of yourself? And maybe a combination of all three. I saw somewhere, I think just this week that there's two things that totally kill like any kind of attraction that you have to other people, whether that be for, business, sales, or relationships, friendships, and one of them is fragrance, scent. And I think what people overlook is you having a bad body odor and you not wearing anything is maybe sometimes even better than wearing a fragrance that has a note that really, really repulses somebody else. Leather is that fragrance for me, for a lot of people. Also iris, also tobacco. So you have to be a little careful. But the people who like tobacco fragrances and the people who enjoy a tobacco fragrance as sort of a staple note in their fragrances, like me, adore this fragrance. This is my favorite copy of Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford because it is sweeter. It's overly sweet. It's a little bit like Amber Oud tobacco, but it has more vanilla in it. And I wear this in the fall because the fall and winter goes great with vanilla. And if you're trying to impress ladies, women love that tobacco, or not that vanilla fragrance. It's just wonderful. Why this one? It's $20. If you don't like it, you just spent $20. Shower gel is that, depending on what kind of shower gel you have. Someone that I know just bought a candle. They were showing me $30 for this candle. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. $30 for a candle. I said, I can get you a incredible fragrance for $22. Will last you 6 months of everyday use. Insane. So all of these two, you're gonna have to blind buy, and what that means is you won't get to sample them ahead of time. You just have to trust me or the reviews or yourself. I don't know, but these are not super risky just because they are darn affordable. And this is what I think is really important in beginner fragrances as well. Okay. And stick around to the end. I'll tell you kind of like which ones I would buy first, but all in all, I back all of these. Next. Let's do kind of a wild card. It is Fragrance World's The Jack. Okay, let me tell you a little something about the Fragrance World. I don't think they manufacture their juices in-house. There is no factory out there under Fragrance World. I think what they do is market for other factories, other laboratories. And so the real, big problem with that is you don't know what you're going to get. You have this huge wave, not in batches, because batches will smell different. Each batch will have a slight variation. But you'll have entire fragrances from Fragrance World that suck, that are awful. This is not one of them. This is called the Jack. And this is a clone of Yves Saint Laurent's Blue Electrique. And like the rest of the Yves Saint Laurent's line, L'Homme line of the cylindrical bottles, the performance on Blue Electrique is awful. And it's like $120, $150. This vibrant. Let's go another one. So right off the bat, you're getting kind of like a light blue, kind of perfumey, but cut with a bit of citrus in it. Masculine, but also sensitive and feminine. Fruity. Wonderful fragrance for the spring, for the summer. And last time I checked, it was like $26, $28. I probably wouldn't pay more for it than that. differentiate yourself when you first start. Let me tell you, everyone's wearing the Sauvage. Everyone's wearing like those Axe body sprays and whatnot. That's their version of fragrances, and that's okay. But when you want to start getting in the fragrance world, you have to find ways to differentiate yourself. And something like the Jack is perfect because it has depth to it. A lot of these fragrances, these for men fragrances, are really soapy, bergamot, cedar, woodsy, maybe some patchouli in the base. Basically, fruit, wood, musk. Pretty much all of them. That is fine when you're in your teens and maybe early 20s, but as you grow older, you need fragrances that match you, match your age, are more mature. It's kind of like, college kids drinking Natty Light because that's the only beer they can afford, and it's awful. As you get older, tastes change as the same as fragrances as well. So I really like the Jack. It's one of those fragrance world colognes that's actually pretty good. Okay, go to a bit of a sultry one. I would be an absolute imbecile if I didn't put a clone of one of my favorite fragrances, and I went with Alt's ALT Amber Angel. Amber Angel is a clone of Angel Share by Killian, which is a $200 fragrance. You can actually go to Sephora if you have one of those, and Killian's line will be there, so you can actually sample that. Alt ALT does a really good job of cloning these fragrances, and Amber Angel is a fragrance that is super boozy, vanilla base undertones, but a lot of spice, butterscotch, sensuality. This is a date night fragrance. This is a nighttime performer. If you like more feminine fragrances, you'll like this. If you like boozy fragrances, you'll like this. Angel Share, Killian's Angel Share, the original. Performance is awful. Projection, awful. Sometimes you get a clone that smells just like it, but it improves those things. This is one of those. Amber Angel, I believe $30, depending on the size of the bottle that you get. Alt ALT never gave me a darn thing. I just like the products. Never sponsored me, never gave me anything for free, but I have no problem vouching for them. And if you want to know more about Alt's line, I did do a video deep diving into a lot of them and my experience that it wasn't so great, but kind of pulled it together at the end. Okay. Next. We're going to get into some, I guess, two more playful ones, and then we have two that are sultry. And I feel like that's really important to have those sultry ones in there because people are going to pick up if you smell boozy, complicated notes, depth, black currant, patchoulis, vetiver, kind of notes that not only are different than the fragrances they're used to, but also just a lot of maturity. They're going to pick up on that. So I think that's honestly how you take a cheap fragrance and have a fragrance that smells pretty expensive, is you give it that depth and complexity. And it has never been done for cheaper, and really hasn't ever been done better than Dunhill Custom. Dunhill Custom. Incredible. Dunhill Custom is English. Dunhill is an English fragrance company, and this is their custom. That's what it's called. It smells like an oak barrel mixed with black pepper spices and a bit of booziness and smoke. Absolutely gorgeous. Now this thing is amazing as a gift for a father, a brother, a grandpa. It is a mature fragrance. The only complaint that I have about it is only lasts a couple hours and it's gone. There's a couple of fragrances out there that are a little bit more expensive, similar but a little more expensive, that perform better than Dunhill Custom. But I remember the first time I sprayed it, I was blown away, and I was really blown away at the fact I only spent $12 on this. Who should wear this? Masculine men. When should you wear this? Nighttime. This is also kind of what I would refer to as a home fragrance as well. Just wearing, kicking her out. I'm not gonna be wearing Angel Share, $200 and something fragrance at home for nobody. But that I will all day, every day. It's a great fragrance, and for the price, you can't beat it. Okay, next. If you all watched any of my videos, you're just sitting, waiting for me to talk about this one, and it's Halloween. This is the original Halloween, not the X, which is amazing, or any of the other ones really that are amazing. This is a fruity opener. Oh my gosh, so sugary sweet, almost like a candy. There's definitely some red fruits in there, maybe a little bit of green fruits to offset it. Super sweet opener. Some people say it resembles 1 Million by Paco Rabanne's, but even if it does, this comes at a price tag of $30. Incredibly affordable. It lasts forever. Halloween projects like no other fragrance, and that's important. 2 fragrances, another thing. 2 fragrances, 2 sprays, 2 sprays, 3 sprays. That's it. Don't do more. Don't believe all that garbage videos say, oh, I'm a don't be a sissy sprayer. Psst, 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 psst. As you see, just birds falling to the ground dead because that freaking fragrance wafted up there and destroyed the ozone layer and suffocated them. Don't do that. 3 sprays, you're good. Halloween is a signature freaking scent. $30, the best $30 that you'll probably ever spend. Fruity, playful, daytime, 4-season fragrance. Fall, summer, winter, spring, all year round, it can be done. That's what you look for, right? Okay. This is my last kind of sultry, complex, deep fragrance, and it suits another fragrance by the Fragrance World. Gosh darn, sorry. Smack the mic. Fragrance World. This is a very, first off, no one could get this cologne when it came out, because as soon as they launched it, everybody bought it up. This is a clone of YSL's Tuxedo, which is I think $280 to $300 fragrance. So you can see the beautiful golden amber. When this launched, you couldn't get it because everyone just bought it up. And I think now it's in stock consistently at like $27. To this day, this remains, I think, probably my most referred fragrance. People asking for a fragrance for special occasions, weddings, events, dinner parties, date nights. I say suits. It's fooling because it has complexity but playfulness at the same time. It opens up with just a huge kick of sweetness, fruitiness, playfulness, but it has this underlying suede, earthy tone to it. But don't mistake this for being This is what you wear when you want to go out for a date night, but you also want to have fun. Have that vigor, that energy, that fruitiness, that surge in you. It's just wonderful. Okay, last one. Arguably the best one. And this is Nuit by Armaf. Hopefully you already have this. If you don't, go buy it. Incredible, incredible fragrance. Weirdest looking bottle you'll probably ever see. So this is a clone of Green Irish Tweed, and I prefer this. This is one of those clones I actually prefer over the original. Why? Because Green Irish Tweed is spicy, spicy, spicy. Not this. Creed fragrances typically don't do well in performance either. I made the mistake of doing 4 sprays instead of 2 or 3 one day, and I repulsed myself. It was so freaking strong. This fragrance lasts forever. It's one of those wash-off fragrances. You're gonna have to wash it off. It doesn't go away. And when you're talking about just getting into buying fragrances, that's what you want. Just don't spray too much. $26 to $30, I believe, and has a sweetness to it that Green Irish Tweed misses, and I think it does better. It is spring notes, green notes. Think about it. Fresh fruit, grass clippings, cotton, fruitiness, aquatic notes, just a tiny bit. That's Nuit. That's Green Irish Tweed. It is interestingly named because you think of tweed, you think of heavy fabric. At least I do. Think of heavy fabric, things that are, weighing you down, things that are going to be deep, complex. It's not at all. It's spicy, it's peppery, it's floral, it's a little fruity. It's amazing. Probably the best spring fragrance between this Guess and Nuit. The best spring, summer fragrances, period. I don't care what your budget is. I don't care who your favorite designer is. Well, I only select niche fragrances. I don't care. Oh, well, it has to be that. I don't care. These are 2 of the best fragrances for spring that you can get, period. Full stop. Okay. That's all of them. But obviously, probably not going to go out and buy all 9 at once. So I would tell you my top 3. Number 1 is Halloween. Incredibly versatile. The best $30 you'll ever spend on a fragrance. Playful, fun, 4 seasons fragrance. A signature scent. That can be your fragrance. The second one is going to be Nuit. Not as... You can only wear it for a couple seasons. Spring and summer. Don't wear this in fall. Don't wear this in winter. It does matter. It does make a difference. You reserve more complex tobacco fragrance for fall and vanilla-based spicier fragrances for winter. So that's why it's not number 1. It's limited use. And man, I gotta give it to something that is not going to be super fresh, because I already picked the other 2. Out of this group I have right here, gosh darn, okay. Suits. I gotta give it to Suits. I was gonna pick Tobacco Touch, but because tobacco is not everyone's cup of tea, I'm gonna go with Suits. You need something that is your date night fragrance, your nighttime fragrance, wherever you go at night. If it's somewhere like dinner, restaurant, movies, go with Suits. If it's something like clubbing or a party or something. Go with Halloween. It's incredibly versatile fragrance. You need something fruitier, but Suits will get you there. It's your let me tell you, this goes signature scent. This is what I wear all the time, every day. I can wear it during day, I can wear it during night. During the spring and summertime, Nuit, trade off with Halloween. And then on special occasions, I wear Suits. Literally, I have 3 fragrances that'll get me through the entire year. It's incredible. It really is how simple this is. And so I always hate to hear people say, I just can't afford it. I want to be in this game. I can't afford it. This was less than $100 and it keeps you smelling good literally all year round, maybe even longer than that. So those are my top 3, but all of these, every single one of them, are amazing and must-haves for the budding beginner collector. Thank you all. See you all in the next video.